Nothing is ours except time. Seneca, have you ever wondered how you are spending this extremely valuable resource? Are you truly living your priorities each day? We are gifted with the gift of time, and it is up to us to decide how to use it. Have you really lived your priorities? Because when we dedicate our time to things that really matter, such as the search for knowledge and moments of reflection, strengthening bonds with friends and family, and developing meaningful projects, everything else in our life naturally falls into place. We are all aware, deep down, that life is ephemeral, but it is in moments of painful goodbyes to loved ones that we realize our fragility in the face of existence. In Stoicism, Seneca teaches us that we often think life is short, when in reality we waste it. Lucius Seneca, Roman statesman and historical philosopher, discovered that, if we want to live a full life, we must be eternal learners of the most important subject of all, life itself. In his moral essay on the brevity of life, Seneca offers us an urgent reminder about the non-renewability of our most important resource, our time. In this video, we will explore 10 profound insights from Seneca about time management, and I invite you to stay until the end to discover how to apply these lessons to your own life to achieve a more meaningful and fulfilling existence. Now, before we continue with this incredible knowledge, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any knowledge. After all, it can change your life. 1. Treat time like a commodity, Seneca says. You won't find anyone willing to share your money, but how many of us share our lives? People are prudent in guarding their personal possessions, but as soon as it comes to wasting time, they are most wasteful of the only thing in which it is right to be stingy. Seneca warns about our negligence in considering the value of time, even though it is unquestionably our most precious and recoverable resource. Imagine walking down the street and seeing someone very rich throwing their money away. You would definitely call this person crazy. Yet every day we witness ourselves and others wasting something even more valuable, our time. If you want to find out how much time you are wasting, do this simple exercise to look at your time as a financial asset. How much do you think each hour of your day is worth? Would it be $60 or maybe $100? Now, let's be brutally honest, how many of those hours do you waste every day? How many hours a day do you act without purpose? Of course, let's assume you waste about 3 hours a day on unproductive activities, such as futile interactions on social media or feeding your mind with empty information. In a month, these 3 hours a day add up to 90 hours, your hour being worth $60. This means you will lose $5,400. Imagine if that money was withdrawn from your bank account every month. Would you accept it passively? So what's the point of doing this with your time and not caring? Seneca asks us, why are you living as if you were destined to live forever, without thinking about your own fragility in the face of life? Time is the one thing we can never get back, and the ease with which it can be taken from us is precisely why we have to protect it so tightly. 2. Do it now, take ownership of today's task, and you won't need to rely so much on tomorrow's. While we delay, life accelerates, says Seneca. First comes laziness and then procrastination. Lazy people never do what they should do, for several reasons. Because it is very difficult, because it takes a long time, because they don't have the desire. Procrastinators simply put things off. They tell themselves, I will definitely do this, but not now. I will have time at the end of the week. And this applies to most of us. We worry about carrying out important tasks. We often worry so much that anxiety consumes us. So we rationalize procrastination and imagine perfect scenarios in our minds about how our future selves will certainly accomplish this task. Seneca said that we must always remember that the habit of letting luck behave as it pleases, waiting not only increases the probability of not accomplishing the task, but we are also subject to life's interruptions. But we also cannot count on the same luck of having tomorrow to postpone again. If you want to make the most of your time, stop using the phrase, "I'll do that later," and start saying, "I'll do that now." Understand the power of the deadline. Make a simple list of the dreams and goals you aspire to achieve and set real deadlines for them to happen. Make it a habit to reflect on your day and examine how you spent your time throughout your day. If we don't take time, even just 10 minutes a day, to examine ourselves as honestly as possible, we are doomed to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. This way, you will know exactly where you need to improve, and it will be much easier to chart your path towards the person you want to be. And always remember, while we waste our time hesitating and procrastinating, life goes on, says Seneca. 3. Live life for yourself. Seneca said, "Do not judge that someone lived long because of his wrinkles and gray hair. He did not live long, he only existed for a long time." We all have certain things we want in our life, whether it's a dream job, a dream house, a dream relationship, or a dream vacation. Yet most of us don't even come close to achieving many of these things because we're stuck with jobs we can't stand just to pay the bills, or a partner we grow to love because we don't want to be alone. You are just being played and influenced by everything that is coming your way. In today's world, we have stimuli and information in the palm of our hands all the time. We then fool ourselves that we don't have enough time to try new activities. Being busy is always your choice. Being busy with things we don't like is the biggest distraction in life. We routinely go through our lives, day after day, showing up for our obligations but being absent from ourselves, confusing doing with being. The best way to invest your time is to invest in creating a life you love. To live. If you don't know what you love or what you want, then ask yourself these questions. If I had more time, what are the things I could do? Or, if I could change something right now, or about myself, what would it be? You may realize that you want to change jobs, get in shape, or pursue a new hobby. Another important practice to start living for you is learning to say no. One of the hardest things to do in life is to say no. With no comes the fear of hurting the people we love and the desire to please everyone. However, if you are not careful, these are precisely the impositions that will overwhelm and consume your life. Have you ever wondered how you can reclaim some of your time or how you can feel less busy? Start by learning the power of no, saying no thank you and I won't get involved in this, and no I can't right now. This may hurt some feelings and turn some people off, but the more you say no to the things that don't matter, the more you can say yes to the things that are good for you. This will allow you to live and enjoy your life fully. The longer you wait to start making changes, the more time you will spend worrying about other people's priorities. 4. Don't invest your time preparing for life. According to Seneca, he who dedicates all his time to his own needs, who plans each day as if it were his last, neither longs nor fears tomorrow. We are all guilty of spending too much of our time preparing for life. Seneca encourages us to live in the now, not to delay our happiness, not to think that our happiness is in the future. He criticizes those who think they can work diligently until around age 60, when they will finally retire and be happy. Our future is uncertain and not in your control. The future life you are working towards may never arrive. We are so busy and worried about the future that we often let the present slip away, allowing time to pass unnoticed and uncontrolled. And then, when we are old and on the verge of death, we finally realize how short and valuable life is. We regret not having made the most of it when we could. To prove this, just read the obituaries. No one regrets the money or lost opportunities, but rather the time that was not lived. Seneca compares time to a rushing stream that will not always flow. If you were in the middle of a desert, dying of thirst, and you found a stream of water but weren't sure when it would stop, you wouldn't drink as much as you could. Just like water, we should use as much of our time as possible to make the most of our present. It's worth planning your 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, but don't let them take away the most precious thing, the present. You can only live one moment at a time. It can only live once, so choose to live in the moment. 5. Make long-term rewards immediate. For Seneca, postponing things is the greatest waste of life. Each day that comes is snatched away and we are denied the present, promising the future. The biggest obstacle in life is expectation. Our need to procrastinate is more powerful. Right at the start of work, even if all distractions have been eliminated and you're ready to start at 8 a.m. as planned, your brain is still attracted to the idea of finding an excuse to do something easier. The hardest challenge is finding a way to make this initial effort less unpleasant. The key here is expectation. This is what we want when we want to delay something that we know benefits us. This is the gap between short-term impulses and a long-term reward. The reason it is often difficult to start something is that there is no expectation of an immediate reward. Sometimes the reward is years away. However, if you associate your work with the expectation of an immediate reward, you give yourself a good reason to start. For example, if you procrastinate on social media, you can make an agreement not to be allowed to access it until a certain amount of work is completed. This way, you are rewarded for the unpleasant work with something immediate. 6. Spend some time reflecting on your past. Seneca informs us that life is too short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. For Seneca, time is divided into 3 parts: the present, which is transitory, the future, which is uncertain, and the past, which is unalterable. All modern time management lessons teach us to focus our efforts on the present, pivoting to the future. They all prioritize what is uncertain and transitory. However, Seneca advises us to pay attention to our past. If we wish to enrich our existence, we must cultivate enough self-awareness to extract valuable lessons from our past experiences, making us more effective in the present. When you actually take a moment to stop and think, to understand what has changed in our character and what has truly made you the person you are now, it becomes quite enlightening. This helps us to be fully present and understand the changes occurring within us. Furthermore, it gives you a clear and focused idea of who you are today and who you want to be tomorrow. It also helps you take responsibility and ownership of yourself and your actions. Sometimes it can be difficult for you to see how far you've come, especially if you tend to compare yourself to others, but spending time reflecting on your past gives you space and time to see how far you've come in life. 7. Enjoy your free time. As we learn from Seneca, it is not that we have a short space of time, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long enough and given in generous enough measure to allow the greatest things to be accomplished, if the entirety of it is well invested. We all work hard to earn 2 things, money and free time, which we can spend on leisure activities. We work 8 to 9 hours a day so that we can gain free time, while we endlessly waste this hard-earned free time on the most mundane things. As some people point out, you have to stop and say, no more wasting the free time you gain. Even if you enjoy your day job, keep the time spent working to a minimum. You never get those extra hours back, they are gone forever. Most of us tend to use our lunch breaks to eat at our desks. Instead, we should make the most of our lunch breaks. Reading, writing or exercising are valid options. If you work in a city, visit the museum or gallery. Maybe start a Stoicism group at the office that you can meet at lunchtime, on weekends, or in the evenings when you have a lot of free time. Make the most of it by meditating, reading, exercising, or journaling, or anything that can add value to your life. If you want to beat mediocrity and start living your life, then you need to start making the most of your free time. 8. Stop wasting time on the trivialities of life. As we learn from Seneca, if such people want to know how short their lives are, let them reflect on how small their own portion is. We are all guilty of spending too much of our time on useless things. These days, more and more of our time is spent on screens, whether at work or on social media, scrolling through even more status updates and posting endless selfies. How often are we caught up giving our time to others for nothing more than the pursuit of monetary and social benefits? Casually playing a cell phone game without any merit is wasting time that you could be developing a useful skill, exercising, or edifying yourself with literature, art, or music. The same can be said about social media. Like other open forms of entertainment, social media is designed to consume your time. If people came up to you all day asking for $20, you would tell them to get lost. But people come to you in person, on the phone, via email or even via SMS to ask for your time, and you simply deliver because your time has less value in your life than your money. Those who constantly say yes to other people's requests end up discovering that they no longer have time for themselves, living according to others and not their own aspirations. Happiness lies in filling your time with meaningful and beneficial activities, certified by your personal vision of life. 9. Invest your time in creating memories. To quote Seneca, "You have been worried while life goes by. Meanwhile, death will come, and you have no choice but to make yourself available for it." If you give a rich man money, he will try to double his money by investing in places where he will get the most return. Likewise, we should all invest our time wisely, and the best return we can get on our time is by investing in creating new memories. Seneca tells us that memory is more lasting than pain. We spend so much of our time chasing what makes our short lives even shorter, and when we get older, we regret not having lived. One of the enemies of happiness is adaptation, says Dr. Thomas Gilovich, a psychology professor at Cornell University who has studied the issue of money and happiness for more than 2 decades. Other researchers have found that memories of life experiences, however simple, provide longer-lasting happiness than things. Memories guide our thoughts, actions, and decisions. They shape who we are. You can start creating new memories by taking on new challenges, spending time with people you love, traveling, seeking new opportunities. Buying an amazing cell phone won't change who you are, but taking a break from work to go on a dream trip certainly will. We are not our possessions, but we are the accumulation of everything we have seen, the things we have done, and the places we have been. 10. Invest your time in philosophies. In our last piece of wisdom from Seneca, in this video we learn that of all people, only those who are at leisure set aside time for philosophy. Only those who are truly alive, for they not only watch their own lives well, but attach all ages to them, all the years that passed before them are added to their own. Seneca points to the study of philosophy as the only valuable occupation of the mind and spirit, an invaluable teacher who helps us learn how to fully inhabit ourselves in this brief and transitory period of existence. Expand our short lives aside so that we can live broadly instead of living long. Philosopher means lover of wisdom. Philosophy is the study of truth, virtue, life and death. Nothing in this world is permanent except the truth. The philosopher always seeks to discover the truth about what this world is like and what our role is within it. Start with books and videos on Stoic philosophy, they were made at your service. The knowledge and wisdom they possess are condensed time, and this compressed time in their pages adds to their time. School is one thing, education is another, but it is your responsibility to educate yourself throughout your life. And if you like this video, don't forget to share it with a friend who needs it. Help us spread this ancient wisdom. Now, to understand a little more about this Stoicism, just click on one of these videos that appears on your screen. Thanks for watching.